We're going to take a look at reality. This is the one title of all of our films that at least today, I'm not really pleased with the title, Reality. I think we had a couple other ones like The Intruder and House Guest and different kind of cool titles. I don't know why we settled with Reality. I really don't. But I think for one thing, I was still into my one-word titles. This was my third and last 16mm film, the final project for intermediate film production. I never did go on to take advanced film production. Kind of interesting backstory to this is that I had originally asked Adam to be in this at one point, and then I hadn't heard from him for a long time, and I kind of thought he wasn't into it or whatever. So I went ahead and asked Andy to come back and be in it. He hasn't been in anything in a while, and I wanted him to. I thought he'd be a really good, villain intruder here with his long hair and all that. So the day before shooting, Adam and Beth actually called me, and they said, when you doing this movie? Adam's all excited. That's all he talks about. He's just dying to do your movie. I said, I didn't think he was into it. I went ahead and asked Andy, so he really wanted to do it. So I said, all right, it sounds great. Come on over. We did this in one night, I think. So Andy was fine with it. He didn't mind. He was exhausted anyway, working harder than a dog, and quite happy to take the break. So Adam came in. He did a great job with his hair back, and I remember at first Tom was like, Adam's not a good villain. He's a blonde-haired young kid, nice guy, and so on. But Adam blew us away. Look at he looks so completely sinister. The hair thing. He never wears his hair like that. I think maybe he should because it looks pretty cool. You'll see in Specimen that he has his real hairstyle. Some great low-angle shots in this thing. This whole movie shot, it seems, from the floor. And for some scenes I did with Tom, just me and Tom, like that one, for example, before Adam was even there. The usual thing I've gotten good at is hiding the fact that there's no one else in the room. Like you have to pretend like he's behind him right now, which he really isn't. We did all these shots before Adam got there. So Tom is like looking at nothing, reacting to nothing and stuff. A lot of these shots. Why a burglar would bring a huge knife with him, I don't know. I guess to cut wires. Now this whole thing, I'm ashamed to admit, is completely stolen from Duel, an early 1971 Spielberg movie, where the character imagines what he should go do to this other person, what he should say, if he should grab him, how aggressive he should be, and what the outcome might be. Great close-ups. Like I said before, when I do films, I have a completely different style, it seems. Completely different than the videos, because I'm having to use different methods of storytelling because there's no audio on location. So, I thought he was shaking his head and stuff a little bit too much if he's trying to pretend like the burglar is, thinking he's asleep. Tom moves a little much. A little bit obvious there that he dropped the bottle on purpose, and unfortunately it kind of seems like story-wise he did it to attract the burglar, but it wasn't written that way, and it's not the case at all. It's supposed to be that he just did it by mistake. He's concentrating so much on what do I do? What do I do? Do I pretend to be asleep? A lot of this was in slow motion. The way he's shaking his knife right there wasn't that slow. I mean, he did it normally. He did it faster, but the whole thing is kind of in slow motion for an effect. But it looks dumb the way he's kind of waving it, I think. Finally, he makes his bold attempt. Now, funny thing about this, listen to the voice right here. That's my voice, yours truly. Dub that in. When I edited this in video, freeze, slime ball. The idea here is that now that he's got his glasses off, he doesn't know he can't see very well, and that's why he shoots Kay. And I guess the whole thing about it being called reality is like, what is reality? Is this a dream? Is it real? We never do get to find out. But the whole idea that I don't think is too clear in the outcome is, Tom, the character, is supposed to be somewhat clairvoyant, and even though he's dreaming all this, what he's dreaming about is what's about to happen. Because at the end, Adam is coming up to the house. But since Tom is now awake and then his wife is home, the burglar is going to probably not end up coming here. Great shot of this whole mouth thing. I think this was actually shot in reverse. Tom started out with it in his mouth and then pulled it out. We did it real slow, and then I sped it up. So he's actually shaking his head super slow, and I'm pulling away slowly, and then sped it up. It looks like we really did it fast. Terrific ending. We didn't run out of film on this one. This was exactly how I wanted it to end. He foresaw this burglar sneaking around. That's the whole idea. So I don't know. This is just a very strange kind of avant-garde thing. I think it's one of Tom's favorites. He really likes this movie. It's more his style than the high-stakes thriller kind of stuff.